Good morning, watch fans. This is Big Jim with the Big Wrist. And I was watching Alexandro and his channel. He's got a great channel, by the way. Really, really interesting topics. He talked about how do you collect? What's your process? Do you have a theme? And it kind of made me think about what's in my watch box. And as you can tell, I like simple three-handers, date, no date. I do have a couple of squares. One's in the other room. But, really basically two-hander, 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 three-handers, three-handers, three-hander, date, and a three-hander with a date. I don't like a lot of complications. If I had a lot of complications, I would probably use my winder. I'm not against the winder. I do have one in the closet. It is a little loud, so I couldn't use it in the room I sleep in. I just couldn't stand the noise. So, I don't have a problem with a winder. I may have to buy a better winder. I have had a couple different models, and they all seem to have a little bit of whine to them, and I really can't stand that noise. So, anyways, so how do I collect? I buy what I want. I wear what I like. I've said that about 10,000 times. I like watches with big blue dials or big black dials and lots of lume. I like simple dials. I only like a few divers. I really like the Tudor Pelagos, so I have a Pelagos modded SKX. It has the big indices and the snowflake hands. Really pretty. A really, really pretty watch. No complaints here. It's accurate. It's an SKX. I keep it on the Jubilee because it's just a crazy comfortable bracelet. This looks a lot like... This looks a lot like the Pelagos except for the snowflake hands. It's another great watch, and I haven't really found another diver that I really like. So I don't have another diver. I only have the two. I have had others. I've had quite a few others, but none of them stuck around very long. I kind of like these three high-end watches quite a bit. I have no problem putting an expensive watch on a cheap strap like this. Tudor Black Bay Heritage 41 on a $15, $20 Barton rubber strap. So my collection is not really eclectic because it has a theme. They all look very similar except for maybe the Pilot has numbers on it. That's my sole watch with numbers on it with the Arabics. But no dial, no bezel, big face, simple to read. So, it gets a lot of love. It's a great watch. Great price too at $200. So I recommend anybody go over to C Market, Long Island Watch, and pick up one of his amazing watches. He's got almost anything to satisfy anybody. I am looking at a couple of chronographs. I like the Breitling unit timer, Galactic unit timer. I do like that watch. It's a little big, but I like it. It's $3,500. New or used, they're about the same price. They're very hard to find used. And a couple of nice pictures of it here. It's a good watch. Other than that, everything else I like really kind of looks the same. I'm looking at my wish list and Polaris and the Gravity Master and the Melgals and Rolex 41 Bright Black, Zenith Defy Classic. They all look very similar. Pelagos Black, Tudor North Flag is maybe the one that sticks out. And then, of course, the Breitling Galactic Unitimer. Even the Bulgari Octo Roma, that's actually a fairly reasonable price. I found one for about $3,500. Again, it's, this watch with a different case, really similar. Stainless steel, three hands. It's probably closer to this watch with three hands, but still, you know what I mean. Three hands, stainless steel, a date. Really nice watch. So the only thing that's really different would be the Galactic. I like the name, the Galactic Uniname. Uniname? Yeah, Uniname. I like that name a lot. So I'm looking at them. If I had that watch, I would probably have to stick it in a winder. It has enough complications I wouldn't want it to run down. It'd be a giant pain to constantly reset that watch. So, it's an idea. That's how I'm collecting. I really don't have a overall plan other than I see a watch that I like. I do a bunch of research on it. I add it to my list if it gets past the initial. And then I start looking for the price, I start looking for the price and looking for what I like. That's how I found this watch. I started really watching the prices come down from $1,700 to $1,450, and I bought it. And now they've creeped up again above $1,500. This is the G-Shock, the G-Shock titanium with the sapphire, and it's the G-Shock to rule all G-Shocks. It's a really nice watch. It's the top of the heap. Great watch. So, I'm reluctant to add another Rolex. I'm reluctant to add another Tudor. I should probably expand my horizons. I do have other watches on my list. It's messing with the Panerai maybe just because it's so different. But I understand it's very hard to get a good Panerai nowadays because they kind of diluted the pool so much. You have to really dig around. Panerai went to some 30-meter crazy water resistance on a dive watch. Ridiculous. They uncomplicated their backs and their movements and made it easier to counterfeit to the point that Panerai has even had a problem with, fake watches going to the authorized dealer and getting through the initial inspections. Ridiculous. So, I'm reluctant to go through that route and have a problem. If I buy a PAM, I probably have to buy one from an authorized dealer and get it brand new in the box and eliminate that whole problem with a fake one. The Bulgaris, they do interest me. They are very similar to other watches I own, but they do interest me. And of course, the Pelagos North Flag. Got a couple of those being saved on Chronos 24 and eBay, both $3,500. It's a very cool watch. I have no problem with that. But again, it's another Tudor. It had to give me 3 Tudors. There are other great watches out there. So as of right now, in my price range, what I have to spend in the $3,500 to $4,000 range, the Breitling Galactic Unaname is probably the top candidate, unless I run across something I really, really love. And I thought I loved the brand new Manta Noble just coming out. It's being pre-ordered right now for $1,600. But only thing it really offers is a 6 o'clock date. Doesn't offer anything extraordinary for the price of $1,600. I'm halfway to something else, so I'm not really that much in love with it. It does seem like a nice watch, but again, if I'm not crazy lusting over it, I'm probably not going to buy it. So the only ones I really been lusting over for a long time now are JLC Polaris and the Melgals, of course, and the OP41, the Phi Classic, and the Pelagos. So, there's just some nice watches out there that I like. I'm not sure if I have a plan. I kind of just want to buy what I like. I want to buy some watches that, when I'm old and gray and dead, in the grave, my family can look at it and go, wow, he did not waste all of his money. He got some decent watches that'll hold some value. I don't want to give them $200, $500 watches. I'd rather give them 10 $3,000 watches. Honestly, I just think it's I just think that when my time has passed, I want to pass on a really good selection of watches. I'm going to have G-Shocks in there. I'm guaranteed I'm going to have some beaters in there, but I want to also have a core of 5, 6, maybe 10 really good watches. Watches that'll hold their value and look good, and I guess that is my plan overall. Is to, I'm pushing 60 now, and I kind of want to narrow myself down to some better watches. Stop buying the $500 Wonder watches and start focusing on some better legacy watches that'll stick around and have more bang for their buck, I guess. And they're high-end watches, I get it, but they're my high-end watches. They take a lot longer to buy because it costs a lot more money. So you can't buy one a month. You can buy one a year, maybe. Probably one a year is not bad for me. And I bought this early this year, and I bought this in March. And I bought this in September. I believe I bought this in September. So probably done buying watches for the year. I'll look at buying something for my birthday in February. This has been Big Jim talking about how I collect and where I'm going with my collection. Hope I didn't ramble too badly, and I want you all to have a great day. Hope you had a good Halloween. Take care.